Hello everyone, this is Mini Joda here. Welcome back to another episode of Parasite Eve. This is part 12. And last time we began our exploration of Chinatown and subsequently to the sewer area. And we stopped at this particular section because there's a cutscene coming up. And as I mentioned before, one cutscene per episode in all of its PS1 goodness. Alright, awesome. So I wanted to set up the cutscene specifically for this particular episode. Like I said, I just wanted to make sure each episode had one cutscene. That's kind of like my goal here. But anyway, your objective in this particular section is that you have to turn on the two pumps so that you can empty the reservoir, as I was just mentioning. That way you're able to walk past this little area that I'm walking by right now. Otherwise it's going to be filled up with water. So just make sure you turn on both pumps. And then also make sure that you turn off the pump before you leave the area, otherwise it's going to be filled up with water anyway. So once you're done with here, you're going to actually pretty much be done with the sewer area, and you're going to be starting here at the subway station. But anyway, you can go up the platform here. There's going to be a few chests that you can get. You see that there's an exit here. You can't go this way right now. This is where we're going to be heading out of this area eventually. But we have to finish exploring the subway area before we continue. For now, just go ahead and grab all these chests that you have here. You're gonna come back this way anyway, so if you want to come back later and grab these chests, that's fine. There's also a save spot here if you need it. So I guess technically I could have saved here and end the last episode of this particular session, but whatever. For now, I mean, what's done is done, right? So let's continue with the exploration here. You can go either way on the left area or the right area. It doesn't really matter. I figured, you know, the right one is the closest one to me, so... Oh. Few enemies. Alright, there's a new enemy here, so I can leave this in. Basically, we have the same bats that we've been fighting at the sewer area, the annoying ones that inflict darkness on you. And on top of that, you also have this mole enemy that has this long, kind of stretchy arm that will try to swipe you with it. So just try to avoid it as best as you can. Right now, I was in a bad position, so I got hit, unfortunately. But try to stay at as far distance as possible from it. If you have a rifle, that's perfect for it because you can shoot it from afar. But for the most part, you should be okay so long as you keep your distance. Same as with the bats, like, and just kind of keep on moving. Keep your distance from the moles, and then you should be okay. You can only fight one in this particular hallway and on the opposite one that you could have taken, which I'm going to be taking anyway on my way back. But I just wanted to showcase, like, you know, what the fight of a mole would be with some enemies added to it. In this particular area, we're going to have to fight a boss immediately after this. Just make sure whatever stat ups that you have, go ahead and use them. Reload your weapons, heal completely. Even though, you know, I have good health right now, but, you know, better safe than sorry, right? I think I'm very well equipped. I should be pretty okay. This was not particularly tough. I mean, his attacks are somewhat difficult to avoid, but you should be okay so long as you've been upgrading your equipment, you know, throughout the days, I guess, that you've been playing this game. So that attack that you saw, it poisons you. Just it casts a shadow on the ground. If you move around, then you should be okay, and you should be able to avoid them. That's kind of like the main reason as to why I decided to keep my poison resistance armor and come to this area first. Even though I could have gone to the warehouse, to the optional area first, but I decided to kind of go this way to make use of that vest as soon as I can. Oh god. Unfortunately, it doesn't protect you against darkness, which is what that lightning attack does. So what you're supposed to do is stand to the side of him so that you can shoot him as well as avoiding most of the attacks. Of course, I'm just sucking horribly and getting hit by everything. And unfortunately, I only had one Cure D, so I was only able to get rid of one of the darkness attacks, but I got hit twice, so most unfortunate. But you know, you can wait those out if you want. Poison, just get rid of get rid of it as soon as you can with detox. Otherwise, you know, darkness, I guess you're gonna have to wait it out. For this particular section, he's gonna break up into 4. Make sure that you take out any of the middle areas, the little ones that have no antennas. You should usually kill them in, you know, depending on how powerful your gun is, but you should be able to take them in one round. The idea is that you want to take them as quick as possible so that if you see they do a rotation of 6 steps. So if you count them at this after the 6th movement that they do, they're gonna stop and they're gonna do kind of like the spinning attack towards you, each of them. So you have to make sure that you take out at least one of them, otherwise you're gonna get hit by all of them. So that's what I would recommend. That's kind of the main reason as to why I wanted to upgrade my gun with 3 shots each. Oh wow, I got owned. Okay, so this is supposed to get much better, but I guess I wasn't doing too well. But okay, it doesn't really matter. I guess my armor is really good right now, so I should be able to take a few hits, no problem. And I should have plenty of medicine, all of courtesy of my adventures at the hospital. So that seems to have gone pretty well. My rifle seems to be pretty powerful as well. So long as you keep up, you know, up to date with your upgrades, then you should have no problem, same as I'm doing. Of course, I'm always reloading before proceeding to new areas, although I don't believe you have to fight anything else here anymore, if I'm not mistaken. But there are a few items that I want to grab here on the right side. It's kind of hidden, so you know, you can kind of miss them if you're not paying attention. Just make sure that you... Oh my god, a super tool! That's awesome! I don't think I talked about this last time, did I? Because if you recall, I was actually watching my last episode and I noticed that I didn't mention that during my sewer adventures, there was a super tool that I got, and I actually never got a chance to talk about it. So right now I got my second one. Lucky me, you're supposed to only get one, but I guess that's supposed to be a normal tool, but I got a super tool out of luck. So let's talk about it while I'm on the subject. I might as well, right? So basically what a super tool does is that instead of the normal tool, it allows you to move attributes from one gun to another without destroying the original. It also allows you to remove existing attributes from your current gun. So they're really, really good. Make sure you keep them with you and don't use them until you really need them. The museum. Oh, so the slime is moving towards the museum. Let's head out of here. Alright, a small interruption here. I had to switch my disc. It's this is the beginning of disc 2. So that pretty much symbolizes that we're close to the end of the game. As you remember, this adventure follows Aya across the span of 6 days, and this is day number 5, which we're about halfway done with. So I think we're pretty close to the end of the game. There should be only a few more episodes and we're done with it. I had a lot of fun with it, so I'm kind of gonna miss it. This is really a game that I hold very dear since I played it so much when I was younger, and I'm a big RPG fan and Square Enix fan in general, so this has been quite an experience for me. Not only that, but this has been my first proper Let's Play, so I really like what I've done with it so far. I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. Alright, so there was a chest in here, I don't know if you guys noticed. Just make sure you don't miss it. Not too important, I mean, it could be either medicine or ammo, depending on how lucky you are. No biggie. So anyway, as you saw, we just collected a gate key at the very end of the bridge, which is what we actually need in order to exit this area. Make sure that you go and get it, and that's what's going to allow us to leave this area finally. And just make sure also that, you know, you have your super tools with you, all of the items that you collected, and once we're done we can exit out of here and move on to the next area, which normally it would be the museum if you want to continue with the story, but I'm actually going to take a little detour. I was actually thinking about it. I don't really want to do this area because it kind of sucks and it's somewhat pointless, but I do want to take on the warehouse first. But first of all, alright, little intermission. I just went to the police station to dump all the items that I got at Chinatown. I recommend that you do the same because there's gonna be a few items that you can collect here, and my backpack was actually almost full. So I wanted to make sure that I have enough room to get whatever I'm getting here. I mean, that's the whole point of going to this optional area anyway, so might as well have the space that I need. Officer Brea! Eve is in there. Why don't you check it out, huh? I'll go closer for the backup, okay? You go check it out. Oop. So he just runs off, and oop, you're coming back. Ellie, come on, we're getting out of here. That reminds me of Shiva. You know, unfortunately, we lost her. Back a few episodes ago when we had to kill her mutated form. There was a tool hidden in there if you didn't notice. Also, I grabbed this awesome gun called the PPK. It has a really good ability that I'm going to be using for my ultimate weapon, so just make sure you grab that. I mean, it's in plain sight. I wouldn't recommend that you use it, but... I mean, if you want to, it's really good. But what I really want about it is its ability, which I'm gonna move over to my next weapon. Once I get back to the police station, I'll show you guys how to build my ultimate weapon before I head over to the final dungeon of the game. But for now, we're gonna take up this optional dungeon, which is the warehouse. Oh. So as you saw, it was a rat getting attacked by one of the cats that we fought in Chinatown. So it's kind of weird because the game sort of wants you to... It seems like the game expects you to come here first because as you saw, it's already night outside, and in here it's still afternoon. So they expect you, I mean, at least it makes sense that you come here first, but you don't see the cats until you go to Chinatown, so it's a little confusing. I would say if you want a little bit of a challenge, you can come here first, which I was thinking about it, you know, coming here first. Oh, make sure you don't miss this warehouse big key, by the way, very, very important. You need this to keep going, so just make sure you don't miss it. But anyway, as I was saying, I wanted to come here first before I went to Chinatown, but I was kind of thinking about it, and I figured I'm gonna upgrade my armor very soon, and I wanted to keep my, you know, my poison resistance one for Chinatown, you know, for all the poison enemies that you encounter there. Oh, there's a new enemy here, or I guess a palette swap. But basically you get a palette swap of the rat with, it just hits a little harder, and this one is a palette swap of the spiders that we saw at the hospital. And pretty much the same thing, the only difference is that they hit like a truck now, so just make sure you are well prepared for this area. That's the main reason as to why I wanted to come here after, because that means that you gain a few levels, so that means that you have more health, more power, everything, so you should be more well prepared for this particular area. If you went to Chinatown first, like I said, if you want a challenge, you can come here first. It's not that difficult. I mean, you're gonna get hit like a truck anyway, but you'll just be a little bit more prepared if you go the other way. But for now, let's continue our exploration of the warehouse. Like I said, completely optional, you don't have to come here at all. Alright. So, there should be a few... There we go. So there's a rocket here. That's actually kind of like a clue to what we'd be getting at the end of this dungeon. For now, this is the vest that I've been wanting to use for a while. It increases your defense by a lot. And as you saw at the beginning, we got another vest, a CM protector, that also gives you the auto ability. But I don't really want to waste that on my current armor right now. I want to save it for later. Don't remember if I have another one in my box. If you recall, the auto ability, what that does is that it automatically uses a potion whenever you're in danger. If your health is really, really low, then Aya will automatically use a potion or a medicine from her inventory. It's really, really good. I don't think the game is particularly difficult enough that warrants you using it right now. It will definitely be useful if you decide to use it, but I kind of want to carry that over onto my final armor, so I'm going to save it for a little bit. There's a save, you know, phone over there. If you want to save, I definitely recommend that you do. For the sake of helping, you know, I'll just keep going, but strongly recommend it. Go ahead and save before you continue. Really tough area ahead. Alright, just a couple of spiders, no big deal. It's a bit tough because, you know, you're fighting them in a tight corridor, like, you know, just kind of like an overhead passageway, so it's a little difficult to avoid the spider webs. But it should be fine, just keep your distance and... No problem. Of course, they afflict you with stiffness, the same effect that the spiders at the hospital would inflict on you, the ones that prevent your movement, and they slow down your active time bar progression as well. It's something usually that you want to get rid of as soon as possible. I would say stiffness is probably the worst status effect. Then after that we have darkness, and poison is pretty bad. But I would say, you know, so long as you can kill enemies, then you're okay. So I would say, yeah, stiffness is the worst, then darkness, and finally, poison. This area is pretty straightforward. I don't think you're gonna get lost, with the exception of the fact that you may not find that warehouse key at the beginning. But other than that, I think you should be okay. It's the same, you already know what's coming. I mean, you see me, I'm already upgrading everything, healing to max. I think I'm gonna use my bonus points as well. I should have a few, yeah, there we go. So I'm gonna upgrade my gun as well, just put everything into attack, just like I've been doing all this time, because this is a boss that's particularly difficult. It's a little annoying because if you happen to lose to this boss and you haven't saved all the way, then it's gonna send you all the way back, but fortunately, I mean, I hope that you saved. Because if you never fought this thing, then it's probably gonna get your ass handed to you. So this is a crab, you know, Mr. Giant Enemy Crab Enemy. What he does is that he has 3 kinds of attacks actually. He does this bubble attack here, in which, as you see, he covers the entire screen. And the only way to avoid this is for you to stay very close to his claws, so that you're out of the range of where the bubbles are getting, where the area where the bubbles are hitting. So just kind of keep on the move, make sure that you're following the pattern of movement of the crab. The second attack that he does is this laser. Just make sure that you keep really far away from him and just moving in opposite direction. It does a really big damage, which, yeah, I would recommend, which I completely forgot about it at the beginning, but I would recommend that you cast Barrier, because that's gonna give you some leeway just in case you do get hit. This dude hits like an absolute monster truck. It's ridiculous. I'm actually kind of surprised that I haven't gotten hit yet. I guess I'm doing really well, but in any case, I kind of wanted to cast Barrier just in case I do get hit. You can take out, you have 3 targets, the main body and the 2 pincers. The pincers have less health, so that's why you want to take them down first. And the third attack, which I guess we didn't get to see, but he does a claw attack, which of course he won't be able to do now because he has no pincers anymore. But that's the main reason as to why you want to take them down first. Also because, you know, they have the least health out of all of the parts. So what he's gonna do is, like, you know, he moves around in a circle, then he shoots the bubbles. He does this 3 times, and then he's gonna attack with the eyes. So this is the 3rd time. Right after this, he's gonna be attacking with his laser eyes. So just kind of stay in the middle, directly opposite from him, and you're gonna see where the lasers go, just moving the opposite direction. Oh wow, I'm really impressed. I haven't gotten hit at all. And this is supposed to be a really hard boss, but I guess if you know the patterns, then you should be okay. Because I did do a practice run of this and I actually got pretty owned. So that's actually the other thing that I did when I went back to the police station. I saved because the last time I died. So I had to redo this whole section. But anyway, when you beat it, you get a rocket launcher for your efforts. It's a pretty good weapon. It should be about twice as strong as what you've been using. You can grab this back here. It's just a tool. You have to be really quick, otherwise you're gonna get hit by that steam and you're gonna take some damage. I would say that if you're low on health, just make sure that you're healed before you go in there, otherwise you might die. But in any case, just there's nothing else for us to do here. We defeated the crab. I'm really surprised that I did so well. I mean, the centipede gave me more troubles than this thing. It's kind of surprising. But anyway, we have nothing to do here other than to leave this area. We're done with this optional section. You don't really get that much levels or anything. I mean, you get a few points, and you get the rocket launcher. I'm gonna kind of carry it with me. I'm gonna see if I get a good opportunity to use it. Like I said, it's pretty powerful, but the only disadvantage is that you can only use rockets with it, not normal bullets. So you have a somewhat of a limited amount of, I guess, ammo for the rockets. So just kind of make sure you save them up for special situations, like, you know, boss fights and things of that sort. If you know that a boss fight is coming, you know, you can always use that for good measure, you know, just in case. I should be heading out. Yeah, you should really watch out, because this is the section where a lot of people have problems with, because all of the areas are repopulated with enemies, so you could very easily die on your way out. So I would recommend that. Actually, yeah, let me go ahead and save. And I'm gonna find my way out of here on my own. I recommend that you guys do the same, but for now, I'm gonna meet you guys at the police station at the next episode when I'm gonna customize my own weapon. So, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and as always, enjoy.